Salam and good morning. Today I will explain our group assignment project titled Top 10 Games from 1980 to 2023. First of all, we need to import all the libraries such as Pandas for data analysis and manipulation, NumPy for numerical computation, Seaborn for data visualization, and Pyplot for using Matplotlib for data visualization, and Matplotlib that's for dates manipulation, and lastly we are using TQDM for progress bar in loops. So we also import warnings in module to handle any warning messages, and we also set float format to display members with 2 decimal places. And lastly we use warning.filter warning to ignore all warnings generated by the program. First of all, we will loading in and inspect the data. We use df equals to pd.read CSV, so we'll import the CSV files, the game CSV files, and then we show the first 5 rows by using the code df.head. So this is the output. There are a few games such as Elden Ring, Hades, Legend of Zelda, Undertale, and Hollow Knight. So for this part, viewing the dataset in the metadata, we can use df.info. So this is the types of the games and other non-name games. We use df.duplicated if there are any duplicated titles between the years. So there are zero games being duplicated. So this is the data preparation wrangling. We can use the def clean column names. For the parameter, def pd.dataframe. Here are the list for comprehension to create a new list of column names with spaces replaced by underscores and all lowercase letters. New columns equals to column.lower replace for column in df.columns. So this is the part where we can convert the string num to integers. We can copy of the provided data frame by using new df equals to df.copy. And then we can loop over the column names list and chaining for column in column names. We can replace k with 000 and dot with none symbol. Then we need to drop the extra index column and name 0 and the other irrelevant column such as team, number of reviews, summary, and reviews. This is for the defining the columns to drop. Column names are name 0, team reviews, summary, number of reviews, times listed. So this is the output. You can see the few top played games such as Elden Ring, Hades, Legend of Zelda, Undertale, and Hollow Knight. This is for the changing the release date column to datetime data type. So when attempting to change the release date column to a data type, a parse error occurred. The message unknown string format releases on TBD. After investigating the issue, we found that 3 games in the dataset had a value releases on TBD instead of valid date format in a release date column. As Deltarune and Death Stranding 2 games have not been released yet, their missing releases dates are understandable. However, as these missing values are not useful for our analysis, this game will be dropped from the dataset. The third game with a missing release date was Elden Ring Shadow of the E3, which was released on February 28, 2023. Although this game is popular, its data is not useful in this dataset due to the missing release data value. Therefore, it will also be dropped from the dataset. Next, we will drop 3 rows with the releases on TBD value in the release date column. To drop rows using the index from the bool filter, use df equals to drop column, df index to drop. And then we change the release date column again after fixing the error. df release date equals to pd dot to date time. If we want to check the release date, df release date dot d type. So for the d type, it is for changing the column names to lowercase and replacing spaces with underscore for consistency, using the clean column names utility function to rename the columns. df equals to clean column names. To check, just use df.head. So this is the output for the head results. Changing the names of the place and plain columns to more descriptive names. We can rename by defining the rename mapper from old name to new name. And then we're renaming the columns again. df.rename columns equals to rename mapper in place equals to true. Checking the results, df.head. So the output will be 2, Elden Ring and Hades. So for handling numerical columns that contain numerical values in the dataset are in string data type, such as object, and are formatted in thousand using the K symbol. To handle this, we will use the convert string num to int utility function to replace the K symbol with 000 and remove any dot, and changing the name from object to int. So to change the K symbol into 1000, we can define the list column to unpack the numbers and convert them into int data type. Numerical columns equals to number of plays, active player, backlogs, and wish list. Using the utility function to handle the string object numerical values and unpick the K symbol to 1000, we just use df equals to convert string num str num to int bracket df numerical columns close bracket. So to check the result, just use df.head. So we can see number of players and active players, backlogs, and wish lists has been changed from K to 000. To check the data types of the numerical columns, df.data types, we can see these titles, real estate, rating, genre, number of players, active players, backlogs, wish list, and data type of object. So to drop null values, for the explanatory data analysis in this section, we will be analyzing this dataset to gain insight into various aspects of the video game industry, including the popularity of different genres, what is the most popular game in each genre, the trend of games, the level of engagement of players with popular games, correlation between backlogging, rating, and wishlist variable. So we'll check firstly the popularity of games. To calculate the popularity of different games, we are going to follow these steps. Split the genre column values on the comma and create dummy variable representing each genre using pandas get dummies method. Sum the occurrence of each genre and sort the values by descending order to get the most popular first. Plot the 10 most popular video games genre. So we can use df genre equals to df genre dot string dot replace. Then we create a binary matrix of genre values for each game. Then we sum the occurrence for each genre across all games. Popularity equals to genre dot sum dot sort values ascending equals to false. And then we print the popularity of each genre, popularity dot head. So the output will be adventure games has the most popularity compared to other games genre. Plotting top 10 most popular video games genre. So we need to setting the plot's figure size. You can use 10, 5, plot the horizontal bar chart, change external plot, and then we add labels showing the popularity of each game. For IV in enumerate popularity, 10 values. Then we remove the x-axis, increase the font size of the y-axis, remove spines from the right and top sides of the plots. We can use sns.d spine, right equals to true, top equals to true, and bottom equals to true. Then we need to show the plot. So just use plt.show. And here are the top 10 popular video games genre: adventure, RPG, platform, shooter, indie, puzzle, strategy, roller simulator, and turn-based strategy. What is the most popular game in each genre? To calculate the most popular game in each video game, we are going to use the following approach. First, we will convert popularity series into a data frame with a single column named popularity that contains the popularity values. Next, we will merge this data frame with the game data frame df on the general column. This adds new popularity column to the game data containing the popularity values for each game. Then we group the merged data by the general column using the group by method. After that, we define the function name getMostPopGame. The text data frame containing data for a group of games as input and returns the title of the most popular game in that group. Finally, we apply this function for each group in the group by object using the apply method. So we can convert the popularity to a data frame and then merge. After that, we group the data by genre. We can define the function to get the most popular game in each group. So after applying the function to group data frame and saving the result, we can convert the series into a data frame, resetting the index and rename the columns to present the most popular game in each video game genre. So here are the outputs. Then secondly, we can see the trend of game rating over time based on release date. To analyze the change in the trend of games rating over time, we are going to use the rating and release date columns. The rating column is going to be our indicator of how successful a game is, representing on the x-axis. The release year is going to be our timeline to see changes of video games rating over the time, presenting on the y-axis. So we need to extract release year, group the data by release year, set the plot size, plot the average, define the plot, add the description, PLT title, increase the padding space, increase the font size, add the horizontal lines, and indicates the maximum and minimum values on the y-axis, plt.xline. And then we need to show the plot by using plt.show. So we can see from 1980 through 1990s, the average rating of video games experienced significant fluctuations with a notable decline in the late 90s. However, starting from 2000s, the average rating has become more stable and consistent. This change over time by due advancements in technology and game designs, evolving consumer preferences, and increased competition. These factors have led to an overall increase in the quality of games and their average ratings. Thirdly, level engagement of players with games. To calculate the level engagement of players with game, we are going to take the following approach. First, we will remove the rows from the data frame that have value 0 in active player column. This done to avoid division by 0 when calculating the average number of plays per active player. Next, we will calculate the average number of plays per active player for each game by dividing the no number of plays column by the active player column. The result is rounded to the nearest integer. Then we sort the data by the average player per column in descending order to show the games with the highest average number of plays per active player at the top. Finally, we display top 5 games with the highest average value number of plays per active player. So we can see we remove the rows with the value of 0 in the active player column, and then we calculate the average player. We sort. Lastly, we display top 5 games with the highest average number of plays per active player. So you can see number of highest active player is the Happy Wheels. And then we can set a plot to create a horizontal bar plot showing the average number of plays per active player for the top 10 games. We can add labels, set a title, remove x-axis, and then we can remove spine from right to the top side of the plots, and then we can use plt.show. The most game with the highest engagement is Fruit Ninja Classic, and the list is PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale. Thus, the fourth is a correlation between backlogging rating and wishlist of variables. Let's first plot a correlation heat map of the dataset. Calculating the correlation matrix, core matrix equals to define that correlation. You can setting up the figure size, creating the heat map, setting the title, and then we can show the plot. So we can see from the observation, the correlation heat map, we can see that there's a strong correlation between backlogs and wishlist. There is some correlation between ratings and backlogs. So next is correlation between backlogging and wishlist. Wishlist backlogging, we can remove columns of popularity, setting the plot's figure size. add a descriptive title and increase its size and add padding. Increase the size of x-axis and y-axis labels to add padding. So we can see the correlation, the clear correlation between wishlist and backlogs. Scatter plot reveals strong correlation between the wishlist and backlogs variables. This is plausible because people who have added a game to their wishlist are likely to have access week but may not have started playing it yet. Next is correlation between backlogging and rating. For the rating, we can grouping the data by the rating column and calculating the mean of the backlogs column for each group. Then we rename the columns for clarity. Resetting the plot, and then we can add descriptive title to increase its size and add padding. You can increase the size of x-axis and y-axis sticks, and then increase the size of both axis labels and add paddings. We can plot, we can show the plot. So the correlation between rating and backlogs variables appears to be positive. As the average number of backlogs increases, so does the rating. This may due to people gaining access to games with high ratings but not starting them. Finally, conclusions, the most popular video games genre are adventure followed by RPG, platform and shooter. With this genre, some of the most popular games includes Metal Gear Solid, Chrome Dino, Devil May Cry, Mario Party Superstar. Furniture Classic had the highest level of engagement, followed by Sleeper, Hot Wheels, and Miss Batman. This is a strong correlation between There is a strong correlation between the wish list and backlogs variable. This suggests that people who have added a game to their wish list are likely to have access it but may not have started playing it yet. Games with high ratings and high wish list counts tend to have the most backlogged players. Thank you. That's all from me. Ada sebetulnya sebab ni